With the trade deadline a few weeks away, March 3rd, we've known the date for a while, and we're all waiting to see what the Leafs do. Well, it ain't March 3rd, but the Leafs take a huge swing. And they go out there and they acquire St. Louis Blues captain Ryan O'Reilly in a 3-team trade. Minnesota's got in there to help us with the salary, compensation stuff. Holy smokes! The Leafs do not trade Matthew Knies in this deal. So you still have that weapon, that kind of Swiss Army knife, that kind of secret weapon, or whatever you want to call them, still around, at least for the time being. The other big value thing the Leafs were going to give up was their first-round pick, and they did that. This is what the Leafs gave up, okay? So, it goes to St. Louis. Mikhail Abramov, who's a guy, hasn't really grown too much with the Toronto Marlies. I'm actually going to quick look up his stats. Leaf fans, I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now. I'm going nuts, right? I mean, Abramov. There we go. Geez, there's too many Abramovs. Hold on. It's Mikhail Abramov. Oh, stupid advertisement. There we go. 1998 Abramov, or is it I'm going to go 98 Abramov. I think that's him. Nope, that's not him. Great. How about 2001? There he is. So with the Toronto Marlies this year, 16 points in 34 games. He's already 21 years old. Again, kind of at that point where you want to see him take that next step. Not a terrible player, but again, a guy that clearly the Leafs have picked guys like Alex Steves, Joey Anderson, guys like that over him in the Toronto, Bobby McMahon, over him from the Toronto Marlies. So you trade Abramov, Adam Gaudette, who was brought in the offseason as a depth signing. So he goes out. The Leafs trade their first-round pick for this year, which obviously hurts. But again, you got to give up something to get something. You trade Ottawa's third-round pick for this year, so that was another good value pick. And the Leafs' second-round pick for next year. So again, it's a decent-sized haul, but you did not have to trade Matthew Knies. I know Nick Robertson doesn't have much value anymore, but you still have the guy here. You still have a lot. I've heard a lot of things. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I've been hearing Sandin's name out there. That doesn't happen. You keep your entire roster intact, and you add 2 impact players that are going to help your team. So, with St. Louis getting all that stuff, not only do the Leafs get out Ryan O'Reilly, St. Louis retains 50% of Ryan O'Reilly's contract. So also to make it work, Minnesota comes into the wings, and just to kind of help the Leafs out here, the Leafs trade a 4th-round pick for 2025, and with Minnesota, they take 25% of Ryan O'Reilly's contract, so the Leafs, all they have to pay is 25% of this year's Ryan O'Reilly deal. Now, let me premise this to Leaf fans, and it's funny. I see everybody on social media going bonkers, right? Like, oh, he's just going to leave in free. He's a Clinton, Ontario boy. We had saw it with Gio last year. He comes to the Leafs, everyone thinks rental, he's gone, and the Leafs traded too much. Well, then he re-signs, and it's a moot point. And that whole talk about last year's trade being bad is gone. I don't know if Ryan O'Reilly is in the same boat as that, but it's there. He's with the Leafs. The crazy thing is, not only do the Leafs acquire Ryan O'Reilly, and obviously he's the main part of the trade. There's no doubt about it. The Leafs also acquire Noel Acciari, former Boston Bruin, and I know that because it's haunted me for years, who's a depth guy on St. Louis. You know, 18 points in 54 games, got 10 goals, nothing crazy. You know what is great? I'll bring this up to you guys. The top leader in hits for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me find that right here for you guys. Where are we? Rasmus Sandin at 113. Zach Aston-Reese has 112. You know how many hits Noel Acciari has? Crap, I lost it. I'm gonna go off an old limb, and I'm gonna say it's 168. Dude has 50 more hits. 50 more hits than the top guy on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he's that physical bottom six forward that you're gonna. He has 10 goals on the season. Great. He can somewhat put the puck. The guy has the same amount of goals as Pierre Engvall, I believe. Doesn't Engvall only have 10? So there's that. He gives you that physical nature. You bring Ryan O'Reilly in, who's a proven winner, has won a cup, and he's a captain. He's a leader. And I know people are going to say he's injury prone, this and that. He had a big injury this year. There is no doubt about that. There is no other way of looking about it, right? However, you look at him, right? He's been out since, let me try and find Ryan O'Reilly right here. Game logs. So, yeah, so he's played 3 games in a row, right? The February 11th, 14th, and 16th. By the way, he has a point in each game, 2 goals and an assist in those 3 games, and he's a +4 in that span. The last game before that was December 31st. So, yes, it's been such a long time since he has played for the St. Louis Blues. But he is back. He is healthy, clearly. He's putting up the numbers now. And Ryan O'Reilly is a physical presence. He's a center. He's a, let me check his face-off percentage, even though I know 54% on the draws on the season. So, to put that into perspective, let me find some other centers from the Toronto Maple Leafs, all right? Where's the 2 main guys? There's Austin Matthews. He's at 53. Ryan O'Reilly is better. Let me find John Tavares. 57. So Ryan O'Reilly is right in that mix of really good centers. We know he's a very good defensive center as well. Ryan O'Reilly is a damn good player. And I know there's going to be people out there saying that the Leafs traded too much and he's just going to leave and this and that. What else are you going to do here? You got to make a move. And Kyle Dubas made a swing. He addressed 2 needs. He addressed a top 6 forward in Ryan O'Reilly. He addressed a bottom 6 forward with some sort of physicality, with some sort of pushback in Noel Acciari. And he's played for the Boston Bruins, so he knows physicality. I'm sorry, but the fact that they did not trade Matt... Look, the first-round pick is tough, of course. But, again, if you see what you're getting, it makes sense. Now, I love the Noel Acciari thing, because that's going to push a guy down. Like a Joey Anderson. David Camp. I was listening to Kipper and Bourne. Dude hasn't scored since December something. He has 4 goals on the year. Love David Camp. Should not be hold on a minute. Noel Acciari is 53.5% of the face-off dot. Averages 14 minutes a night. This ain't some scrub you're getting. Noel Acciari can center that third line. Actually, I don't know what they're going to do with Ryan O'Reilly. Put someone off the wing. I don't know what the hell's going to happen there. But you got abundance of great players now. And you have 2 guys who can physically handle themselves. Noel Acciari's only 5'10", but he's 209. He's a big fella. I don't know. I love this deal for the Leafs. Again, you gave up a good bit, so it is what it is. Let me have a look at this, was it Josh Pilar or something that we got from Minnesota? Obviously, dude's probably nothing special here. But let me look what he is. 21-year-old kid. He's actually probably an overager and junior. Numbers aren't great. What is he? He's a winger. Throw-in piece, right? Throw-in. But again, Leaf fans, I want to hear all your thoughts because I'm at the point where I want to see this Leafs team win now. We all do. All year long, it's been wait to the playoffs. It's all been, you can't beat Tampa, can't beat Boston. So what does Kyle Dubas go out and do? He trades all these non-roster players right now, and he acquires a Stanley Cup champion in Ryan O'Reilly, a captain in Ryan O'Reilly who's from Ontario. He acquires a depth forward who is physical, which this team does not have. Look, Zach Aston-Reese, love the guy, but other than the 112 hits, dude doesn't do anything. Like I said, Noel Acciari plays 15 minutes a night and he has 10 goals on the year. He's got 168 hits. You got 2 players in which this team does not have. Ryan O'Reilly plays heavy. The Leafs don't have guys like that. Noel Acciari's a depth guy who plays heavy. The Leafs don't have guys like that. They went out there and they addressed needs. Do they still need to go out there and acquire a defenseman? Sure. Does this deal, though, take them out of a Gavrikov or a Jake McCabe talk? Quite possibly. Because that first-round pick, and hell, you could say the third-round pick that you were dangling out there, were pretty key assets. Now your only real asset is kind of Matthew Knies, and you're not trading him for a Gavrikov or on a rental or a Jake McCabe. That's not happening there. So are they running this decor out the way they are? Possibly, and it's scary. But did the Leafs get better tonight than they have been in previous years and in previous games for that matter? You're damn right they did. And I got to give Kyle Dubas his credit. There have been some questionable moves, no doubt. Was he a little gun shy of trading any sort of rental? Yeah, after the Nick Foligno stuff, of course he was. But you can't sit here and say that there's no chance Ryan O'Reilly's coming back. Because it happened last year. With Gio, albeit Gio, substantially older than Ryan O'Reilly. There's no doubt about that. But I'm beyond excited to see Ryan O'Reilly in Leafs uniform. And if you don't like the trade, you're just a Leafs hater or a Dubas hater. That's all there is to it. So, I'm proud of it. I love the deal. I can't wait to watch it. They addressed two needs. That's where I'm going to leave it. All right? So, you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. By the way, Ryan O'Reilly, I think he has 19 points in 40 games this year. So, again, it's not pretty, but dude's probably dealing with health all year long. Takes that month and a half off, and then comes back and has, 3 points in 3 games with 2 goals. So, who knows what we're getting here, but he's going to be alongside some pretty damn good talent. Might be able to move your power play guys. Actually, let me check real quick, guys, before I wrap it up. How many power play time? Okay, so he's averaged a minute 57 on the power play. So he does play power play time. So that might change the power play unit a little bit. Maybe you can move a guy to the second power play unit. Maybe put Sandin in the top unit and have Ryan O'Reilly there, and then have Morgan Riley and Willie Nylander on the second unit to actually give you somewhat of a second unit. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can make this happen. And the fact that Kyle Dubas, because let me check the schedule. How many games do we have before the trade deadline? Because that's what I want to look at now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games before the trade deadline. I don't know if it means anything, but you have 7 more games with Ryan O'Reilly than some of these other teams are going to have with their trade deadline acquisitions. It's very important that we saw this what happens when the Leafs traded for Jake Muzzin. They traded for him early, and they had him for that extra bit of time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what happens here. But look, is it a big swing by Kyle Dubas? Yeah. Is there a chance it goes sour? Of course it is. That's what making a trade is. That's what making a free agent signing is. You're always risking stuff, especially when you're giving away assets. But the fact that they kept Matthew Nice, imagine that playoff roster when you add Ryan O'Reilly, you add some size in Noel Acciari, and oh, by the way, you add the big fella Matthew Nice coming out of Minnesota. That forward core could look very different heading into round 1. Now, who knows if they're done? They could go out there and maybe make an acquisition for a defenseman, which I would love to see, because that would kind of solidify it for me. But that deal right there, I love it. Every bit of it. On paper right now. Come back to me 6 months from now and see what happens. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you like or don't like the trade, I don't care. Smack the like button anyways. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, the trade. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. The Twitter and Instagram links are down below as well. So follow up, send me a DM, guys. Do all that great stuff. The Discord link is down below as well. So follow up, guys, down there. Please go do so. And I will talk to you as Raptors Edition post All-Star break as they host the New Orleans Pelicans at Scotiabank Arena at 7:30 on Thursday coming up. And as for the Leafs, I'm trying to look up Ryan O'Reilly and see his hits. Albeit it's probably pretty low because he only played 40 games this season. I'm trying to scramble here at the end. This is not good. Hold on a minute. Okay, never mind. 13 hits in 40 games. But you know what? Who cares? So, Leafs Edition tomorrow night as they are hosting the Montreal Canadiens at Scotiabank Arena at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Can't wait. Obviously, those guys aren't going to be in the lineup, but maybe for Sunday's game against Chicago, we shall see. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the trade this evening. We'll talk to you guys then.